that what they're trying to convey publicly out there, a lot of that is misinformation, and people need to understand and digest that. Go ahead.
Jen, what preparations is the White House engaged in broadly in the case of a Supreme Court vacancy?
I'm just not going to detail any of that from here.
Not about, unrelated to this, you can't detail what, like, doesn't every White House like to get ahead of this in case of a sudden passing in the case of Ruth Bader Ginsburg? None of that you can share?
I'm not going to detail internal planning from here, no.
Okay, then let me ask you a couple other questions. Is there any scenario in which the president would select his Vice President Kamala Harris for the Supreme Court?
Again, I'm not going to speak to any considerations, preparations, lists, and as we've stated earlier, and you heard the president say, there's a long history of Supreme Court justices determining when they may retire, if they retire, and announcing that. And we're going to, that remains the case today.
Clearly you're more wiser than to take those questions then. So I will ask you about a different topic, and that's Vladimir Putin, the president saying, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you. When you were asked about the vice president possibly being selected as a Supreme Court nominee, you said you're not going to speak to any considerations. Does that mean she is being considered?
Again, Peter, I'm not going to speak to the reports of a Supreme Court justice retirement that hasn't been announced.
So theoretically, would someone who's Theoretically, I do like that you preface it. I appreciate that. Just wondering, hypothetically, theoretically, would someone who was an attorney general of a large state and who served with many key Senate votes be an attractive candidate to the president for an open Supreme Court seat?
I see what you did there, Peter. But the president has every intention, as he said before, of running for re-election, and for running for re-election with Vice President Harris on the ticket as his partner. But again, I will just reiterate that I have nothing more to offer in terms of specifics or information on the reports this morning.
Not enough.
Would you have another question for
yes.
me? Go ahead. I know there's other things on your mind,
yes.
on your list over there.
Now that you guys have submitted the written responses to Russia's demands, they are saying, if we do not receive a constructive answer...
That information.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you. When was the last time the president talked to Justice Breyer? Have they had any communication today?
I don't have any more details of their communications.
I wonder if you can clear this up, because there seems to be some disagreement among some legal scholars. Is it your understanding and the understanding of this administration that the vice president can be the tie-breaking vote to confirm a nominee to the court?
I would have to check on the specifics of that.
And just one more on the president's Supreme Court commission. I believe they finished their report. They turned it in last month. Has the president had a chance to review this? Might we hear from him on any decision or input that he's had?
He has received the report. I don't have any update on his analysis of it at this point in time. Go ahead.
Take you somewhere completely different.
Okay, let's go there.
The China bill.
Yes.
Which
About that in the past, and it remains a priority. Go ahead.
I have to give it a shot myself as well.
Go ahead.
In this hypothetical alternative reality where a vacancy were to open up, could you say who within the White House would be sort of leading the charge on the selection vetting process?
As the president said, I'm sure that if and when there is an announcement by Justice Breyer, there will be more to be said. And we'll have more conversation in here. I'm sure he'll have more to say, but I'm not going to have anything more for you at this point.
Just switching gears on the energy front.
Determine what that looks like.
One more. Should you have a Supreme Court nomination that has to make its way through the Senate, is there any concern that that could crowd out priorities like Build Back Better and make it that much harder to get something done here?
Not without getting into any specifics of what may be on the docket. We have to walk and chew gum at the same time here in the White House, and that includes navigating, the buildup of military troops on the border of Ukraine. That includes trying to get an omnibus bill passed and get our competition bill passed. That includes continuing to be the arsenal of vaccines to the world, and we are entirely capable of doing more than one thing at once. Go ahead in the back. We have to walk and chew gum at the same time here in the White House, and we are entirely capable of doing more than one thing at once. Go ahead in the back. Capable of doing more than one thing at once. Go ahead in the back.
Thank you, Jen. I have two questions, two different topics.
Okay.
First one on Ukraine.
Is it about the Supreme Court?
No, actually, no. I'm not part of this this bunch. The president earlier this week.
Thank you, Jen. I have a few questions. The first on the Supreme Court.
Sure.
Does the president believe that the current makeup of the court accurately reflects America's demographics?
Well, I would say the president, as you know, asked for put together a commission that could review, that is a commission made of Democrats and Republicans of a range of legal views that could take a look at everything from the makeup of the court to how they select cases to the length of service to the size of the court. That's a report, as Mary asked about earlier, that he certainly has. I don't have an update on his review of that at this point in time. I will note, though, for you to go directly to your question, he has nominated a historic number of judges who are people of color, a historic, I don't know if it's a historic number of women, but a majority of the judges he has nominated are women. That speaks to his desire and his interest in having courts around the country that look like America and that represent the experiences of America, including public defenders and others. So that is the evidence of his commitment to that I would point to.
Is it the expectation of the president and the White House that whomever he would nominate for any hypothetical vacancy, that would be an appointment that Democrats could unify behind?
Well, that's always the hope. If that opportunity presents itself. Go ahead in the back.
Thanks, John. The pace of Americans who are getting booster shots has dropped by more than 50% since December, and public